Welcome to episode 31 of Are You Mad at Me?
Let's try that again.
And the answer is yes. Yes, I am. Yes, we are. Yes, you are. Who are? You were kiss his ass. What's your ass? Shut up, Clark. Hi, Josh. I'm Vickie Morgan.
I'm Josh Morgan.
This is Maybe, and Sparky's right
Our
here.
dogs are all over us tonight.
Yeah. These are our emotional support dogs, and they are emotionally supporting me right now. I am what you might call exhausted.
I can imagine.
I'm exhausted. How's your week been, Josh?
We've been busy. I'm just fixing my microphone here so I can reach your...
I think we're about 10
volume
seconds
up.
away from you saying one of the most offensive things you ever said in our entire relationship. We were having a fight years ago, and Josh goes, why don't you go have a shower in an Ativan? And it was really meant to be kind.
I thought it was good advice.
Well, I think we're about 15 seconds from that. Like, I think I'm at that point where it's like, okay, I give up. Anyway, thanks for listening to Are You Mad at Me?
It's been a busy week in the publishing world.
So if you've been listening in, just I don't know, because you have like a morbid curiosity about creative process, or you're thinking, hey, I might want to do that. Don't. That's my advice this week. Avoid it. Stay with your 9 to 5. Who needs a soul? Just keep paying for your house and your car, and it's fine if somebody is raising your kids. It's totally fine. You don't want to
really solid advice.
You don't want to see your kids anyway. They're probably not even that cool. So just go back to work. Don't even think about giving up your corporate to get 6 figures from an indie whatever YouTubers do. I don't know what they do. I don't even know if they're telling the truth anymore. I think it might have been just... I think you can get like a green screen background to make it look like you're in Hawaii making 6 figures after giving up your corporate job 3 months ago. I think it might be all bullshit, honestly. I think they might be lying to us, Josh.
I think you might be tired.
I'm exhausted. I'm not even going to try to hide it. I'm exhausted. I have spent this entire day, you can probably hear my voice because I've been yelling so much today. I have spent this entire day going, you know what? You know what I could do? I could write another book. Because I heard this video. I talk about this in the new book. I'm not revealing anything that I haven't talked about on before on the podcast, but like I listen to a lot of law of attraction videos. And so like my algorithm on YouTube is like, I'm getting all these new ones now. Like,
it's all Nate Bargatze and law of attraction.
No. Nate stuff I have in my watch list. That's not even like, that doesn't come up.
They're not even trying to give that to you.
Yeah, they know, like that comes up in my clips or whatever, like in the shorts and in the like reels and stuff on Facebook and Instagram, which I love. But like my algorithm now is, I'm getting like Neville Goddard and some bunch of other dudes, and like some of it's like an AI voice just doing stuff that Neville Goddard would have said, and it's like, wait a second, this isn't even real. It's crazy. And some of it's like they'll put like a background of just like snow falling in the woods, yeah. And it'll be this like voice that I thought was Neville Goddard, but apparently he's been dead for a really long time. And then there was this other stuff from Think and Grow Rich. What's his name?
Shoot.
Napoleon Hill.
Yeah. So
like he's been dead for a long time. I think his book came out in the 50s, and like I keep getting these like recorded yesterday, 100,000 views on it already. I was like, oh well, I guess it's popular, but they're from dead people that people are using AI to recreate, and it's like, okay.
So what are these videos saying?
All that to say, there was this video a long time ago where somebody was talking to Esther Hicks, who I adore. If she ever dies, I mean, I don't know who's gonna advise me every day.
They'll just have to do more AI voiceover videos of her.
Well, now that we know that's possible, I guess it's okay if she wants to go. But I don't think she will. Anyway, but she did this. So she does this thing where she does these like seminars where she coaches people or whatever, and she does like 15-minute segments, and someone will come up and sit in what's called a hot seat, and then someone will come up and lay it on her like, oh, I got this problem. I just went through a divorce, or my kid's impossible, or I can't get a job I love, or I haven't found work in a long time, whatever. And she'll ask these questions, and then she helps the person feel in 15 minutes. Like she'll ask them questions that kind of gets to the root of what's going on. It's not therapy, but she'll say, I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want to join you in your misery. Like, what do you want? How do you want to feel? And it just within 15 minutes. So these videos that are all over YouTube are 15 minutes long. And so if you listen to them, I kind of saw a pattern with them a long time ago where it was like, oh, first it makes you feel really bad, and then it brings you back up. Kind of like the army, where they beat you down, build you back up, beat you down, build you back up.
Yes.
So for a little while I was like, oh, maybe these aren't good for me. But then anyway, all that to say, a while back I heard a video where somebody was like, oh, I wrote a book and I don't know how to sell it. And her advice was write another one. So Vickie doesn't take anything to the, what's the minimum? Like Vickie's to the max, like full on, how much you got to the floor, pedal to the metal. Like, why not go overboard and just completely blow it to shit? So instead, okay, here's where I am today. Here's the creative process, okay? And just with me, and if you've diagnosed me, whatever, let me know what I got. I'd love to know. Because, maybe there's a way to counteract it or deal with it.
Is that what we're doing now with diagnoses? Just putting it out to the internet?
Well, we just watched an episode of House where this dude was in the hospital and he put his symptoms online and he offered a reward. So I'm going to offer a free Mulberry Creek mug to anybody that can diagnose me with a treatment plan. I'd love it. Anyway, I got 3 stories going. So Esther said, oh, my right ear just started ringing, so that's good news coming.
That's good.
Anyway, yes, it is. So write a new book if you want to sell the old one. Like, okay. And I've used all that stuff last year, came up with the idea for Self Publishing Month. Under that umbrella, I did like a bunch of signings, an open book event, and a whole bunch of stuff. And a whole lot of like a whole lot of hashtags with Self Publishing Month on Self-Started Self-Published NL page. And we did sell a lot of books.
Yeah,
it went really, really well.
It was a good month, yeah.
So then if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, around January, I said, I'm not doing any New Year's resolutions. I'm going to start writing a new book in February because it had been kind of nagging at me for a little while. I knew I wanted to write this book. So I had best intentions. I finished the book and I promised myself that this time around, I would not make the same mistake that I made the first time and the second time. And that mistake was advertising on Facebook. I promised myself
advertising
I would not
to your friends and family.
do marketing on Facebook. And for the first day or so, the first time, like the first book went live of 8, I was like, oh man, I'm so proud of myself. Look, I didn't even put it on Facebook. And then I said, what if we did like that whole try to fail thing where it's like, what if we just didn't care the outcome? And Josh came up with this brilliant idea. We talked about it on the podcast, and I said, I'm not looking for pats on the back. I'm looking for, it's a product. I'd like to sell it. Josh said, why don't you put that on Facebook? Just post a picture of the book and say, I'm not looking for any congratulations. I'm looking for sales. And Josh, brilliant person that he is, said, turn off commenting. And I was like, there couldn't be more opposite to what I would normally do.
Because you're not going to get any congratulations.
Right. And which was great. Awesome. Great idea. So figured out, I did learn how to do a post on Facebook without comments. Anyway, you got to do a public, and you set it as a public. You have to post it as a public post, and then you can set it up that only people you've tagged in it can comment on it. And so if you start off with a regular post, you can't make it public and then do that stuff.
It has to start as a public post. It has to start
off as a public post. So I learned that. Yeah. And so that went great. And I was like, okay, so that doesn't really count. I didn't put it on Facebook. Excuse me. I'm not going to the same old pool of people. And also, this book is such a niche book that it's like...
It's for people that want a specific thing.
Yeah, it's not like, digging into my life or anything like that. It's really about all the stuff we know about publishing. So, and I was like, look at me, a whole day, there's a first book out, and I didn't put it on Facebook. Woohoo! And then the second day, I was like, maybe I should put it on Facebook. And Josh was like, well, put it on, but turn off commenting. And so over the last 2 weeks, I realized I have no idea how to do marketing. I have absolutely no idea. My whole going into the new year resolution of let's try my luck with strangers, I don't know how to do it. I keep going back to what did I learn? Do I have any knowledge from my CNA time doing a marketing program? It turns out I don't know anything. I don't know that I could market for somebody else. I have no idea what I'm doing. I can tell you, I can raise awareness of whatever, but I don't know about selling. I have no idea. So I was thinking, what if I made Vienna sausages? How would I sell them? Like if I was making couches, how would I sell them? And it's like, well, if I was at a furniture store, I would put out a flyer. And it would go to people, you'd probably pay to put it to thousands of houses, and, most of them, 997, wouldn't care. And then for the 3 people that want a couch, that's your big high-ticket item, and you make a few $100s off a couch. If I was making Vienna sausages, I would put out a flyer from Piper's saying, Vienna sausages are on sale. They're delicious, and we don't know what's in them, but they're so yummy. I want some Vienna sausages now. But I don't know how to sell. I have absolutely no idea. So I've kind of just fallen back into... I put a bunch of stuff on Facebook. People are making comments. It's great.
And it's exhausting.
I'm exhausted
Yeah.
because Facebook is a cesspool. So I'm checking it, and I mean, like the first day or two, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just leave it alone for an hour. And today I did it too. I stayed off for like an hour, but I had tagged Josh, and his phone kept going off in his pocket. And then he tells me, these are all messages for you. And I'm like, oh, really? I might as well have been looking at it myself. So then I was like obsessively checking every 20 minutes for the rest of the day. Is not good. I mean, the good news is that How to Be a Famous Sexy Writer is number one hot new best. What is it? Hot new release.
Woo!
Yay!
I'm gonna put some applause in there.
Thank you. It's number 40 in the category creativity. That's
amazing.
In the top 100 in business. It's in the
that's
top,
on Amazon. That's like Amazon rankings.
And in humor and entertainment, it's number 60. And just to give you some context, Sarah Cooper's book, How to Sound Smart at Business Meetings, is number 68.
Sarah Cooper, who's hilarious.
And got her own Netflix special because she was doing these impressions of Donald Trump during his first term. I don't know if she finds him as funny this time around. But the book is doing well. I'm exhausted. Like, this is not fun for me at all. I'm exhausted. And I have no idea how to even begin. Like, okay, so the people that are engaging, and I appreciate them. There are people buying the book that I know don't want it. And that's like, that doesn't feel like...
They're buying the book to support you
they
as
are,
a friend.
Which I appreciate, but it's like, what did I do this for? It was meant to help. Like, it was meant to help people publish, and it was meant to save people so they don't
So the trick is to find the people that want to self-publish and need to know how to do it.
I don't have a clue.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have the first clue how to do it, and I'm exhausted. And instead of waiting for inspiration for, like, so the people basically that have bought the book so far, to my knowledge, are people who are supportive of the podcast, supportive of Mulberry Creek, of us. So we're doing really well. And then it's like, all right, so now what though? Because that only goes so far. And like the intention, because the people that are buying the book, I don't think have any intention of writing. I know they're just being really supportive, and I do appreciate it. It's just, I meant to do it differently this time.
Okay, here's a question. Like, if you put your 3 levels of DIY up against marketing for self-published books, like you've talked about this before, where it's like you pay somebody to do what are the levels? Tell me what the levels are again. You
the
do
first
everything
one is
yourself.
you do everything yourself from scratch. You learn everything from scratch.
You learn everything. You go on YouTube. You take classes. You talk to other people. You learn how to do it yourself.
And the second level would be you do some of it yourself, and you do some like templates and things like that. Like you get a little pre-made stuff, but you don't have as much creative control. And then the third one is you learn what all the stuff is, and you hire people to do it.
So like maybe that's one of those things where like when people have the funds and the ability to write a book and then pay a marketing company or somebody that specializes in marketing, then they can just pass that off and they don't have the exhaustion of trying to figure out how to market it themselves.
I hate it. Like, all I've wanted to do this week is start another book. It's the only thing it's the mantra that I keep going back to. Maybe if I just write another book. So the theory, Esther Hicks's theory, is that the inspiration for a book when you're writing or composing or whatever is that door that opens up when you're writing a book is the exact same door that needs to open for you to get ideas for marketing and to like open yourself up to the universe.
It's all creativity,
for
right?
the exchange of energy, because money is just energy, right?
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not the end of the world. It's just I've created this thing when it connects with people. But this book isn't personal. So the first time around, it was like, oh, it's so personal. Maybe that's why I wasn't able to market it. And then with the second one, it was like I did a lot. We did a lot. We had it on a radio show. We had a book launch. And it went well, but then it was like, all right, so what now? Because we sold to our circle, and that can only go so far. So it was like, all right, so Brene Brown talks about playing small, and when her TED Talk went viral, she did like a TED Talk Houston, I think, and TEDx or so, I don't remember. But anyway, she made this decision to like, I'm not playing small anymore. So she went and did a vulnerable thing, and she talked about her personal life instead of just hiding behind clinical research, and it went viral like within a day or two. It was like 1 million views. So like, okay, all right. So if I'm ready to not play small anymore, I'm waiting for that burst of inspiration. Like, how do you do that? All right, I'm ready, but I don't know what to do. So I'm like, oh, I'm cleaning out my cupboards. I'll wait to see what shows up for me. And I got to tell you, what showed up for me this week is music. Every time I
yeah, it was crazy.
Just people started sharing my music videos. I got some crazy offers this week. Music stuff, not self-publishing, not anything to do with my book. So it's like, if I'm trusting whatever shows up, it's not books. So I don't know.
Yeah, and so that also leads into...
I can't even I don't have, my executive functioning is, my filter's broken right now. The tank is empty. I have nothing left. I don't know what to do next.
Well, this is it. I think this is the next step.
I'm exhausted.
Is to get on the podcast and share that you published
I'm exhausted.
6 new books.
Yeah. So, congratulations. If anybody out there is thinking about writing a book, you could be this. I'm tired. Like, I just, the brain, the part of the brain that creates and writes and comes up with stuff, it's a different mindset. So, like, switching gears, like learning how to publish a book, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. And so now we're in a place where, like, yeah, we can do that pretty easily. Now we can bang out a book pretty easily. But then it's like, all right, it's on Amazon. Congratulations. How does anybody find it? And so there's a little tiny part of me that's like, maybe you just send it out and imagine that people are finding it and that it's, making their lives a little bit better.
Like vision board it.
Yeah. Vision board it. And, just imagine how it will feel to see those sales creeping up on KDP. And, and it's so funny. We have these labels. I should not feel like this because these books are bestsellers.
Yeah.
Like this, it doesn't compute. Like I should, like all the diplomas on my wall. I thought I would feel better when I got them and I don't. It's like, oh, well, I guess maybe the diplomas don't count. Maybe, maybe they're not from the right school, or maybe it just doesn't match up with, I'll feel better. Like I keep thinking when I was, young and single and thought I was whatever, going to be single for the rest of my life. Like, oh, if I had a boyfriend, that was my big one in high school. It was like, I never had a boyfriend. And I always thought the people that did have boyfriends are so together. And turns out, nope, you can have a boyfriend and still be sad. Mm-hmm. It turns out you can be uneducated and sad, and then you can say, oh, I bet I'd feel better if I had a diploma on the wall. And it turns out you can have a diploma and still be sad.
So I think liking yourself is where it starts.
Yeah, and where do you start? What do you do with that? Like, could you have any advice? I'd love to hear it. I don't know. Because at the end of the day, like, okay, let's work on liking myself. Well, congratulations. I did another book. It's the same. I might as well tack it up on the wall and go, great. I might as well have this many books up there for oh, you know what people would love to see? I don't know. I was going to do a Jake, what's his name?
Jake Peralta.
I was just going to pull a Jake Peralta. Ooh, I got an idea. And I thought it would come
to jumpstart it
if I said that, but it's not. I have no idea how to start so what I keep trying to get to here is the people who like me and are trying to support me and are buying the book to support me. Like, how do you start that relationship with strangers? Where do you, like, to go on Pinterest or to start a blog or to start a podcast or whatever, how do you get in the door to show someone who you are? Like, I keep thinking I can't do a 15-second ad for Amazon or whatever because I've said this to the other day. I need more time. I can't sell me in a short. I need to get in. People need to get to know me. I need to tell them a little bit about myself.
Kind of like this podcast.
Like I'm like a long form person. I don't know how to do the quippy little, this book's going to change your life. Buy it. I mean, I guess some people can, but I also don't understand the success stories. Where are you going?
I'm just going to fix your mic because
it keeps falling down.
Sticking.
Oh, yeah. That'll do it. How do these people get these 6-figure careers with, I don't know. I think here's my theory on that. I think they're spending 6 figures in advertising and boosting and all those things.
I don't know. Maybe they're counting after the decimal point.
Yeah, they might be counting a couple of those number places, but I don't know. I'm tapped out. And I'm like, this is the part where, with a marketing team and stuff, it'd be like, let's hit the ground running. We're going to roll it out. These are the things that we're going to do. And it's like, it's exactly like labor. You go through 40 weeks of labor, 40 weeks of carrying a baby. And by the time you're ready to go into labor, I mean, I remember especially on the first one was the worst Because I was like, if I have to do anything right now, I could barely move. I was so big.
Yeah, after 40 weeks, you're exhausted.
The kid was kicking my stomach. I was eating like saucerfuls of food instead of big plates because it was like there was no room down there, and I was so tired and everything hurt. And it was like, are you serious? I have to like work now. But then you get into it. When labor starts, you're like, all right, let's just do this thing. But
yeah, hit the ground.
But knowing that, where I am right now is like I'm 40 weeks pregnant. That's how I feel. I feel like, or I don't know, maybe there's like a little foot dangling out of me because the books are made.
Foot dangling out of you?
There's a foot dangling out of me. But it's like, I am so tired. I can't imagine going through labor right now. And that's the rollout. Like this is when I need marketing and ideas and energy. And it's like, I'm starting the marathon and I've already ran a marathon. Like that's how I feel. Congratulations, everybody did a Telly 10. I don't know how you do that, but
10 miles. So I think that
anyway, that's where I am.
This is just the other side of self-publishing. Like sometimes it's a lot.
Does it have to be like this though? I mean, I think if you can surround yourself with people. So I think maybe one idea that I had today was to make an offer to marketing people. Like if you're thinking about writing a book and you're a person with marketing experience, I'll do your book for free if you'll take over marketing for my books. Like I mean, it's a lot of hours on my part, but it's worth it because
bartering is awesome.
If I have something to offer, but I don't know how to do it myself. And I feel like I could do it for somebody else. It is a big soul searching, learning to like yourself and all that stuff. And like, all right, I give up. I don't know how to get there. I don't know. I feel like I should be dancing in the streets going, woohoo, I really did.
Yeah, it's hard to be excited when you're like, oh, I got to do all this other stuff.
It just seems like work. It's a lot of work. And it's like, oh, but it should be such an inspired thing and people are going to love it. And okay, if they can't find it, how are they going to love it? Like, how do I make it more available? Like, and my algorithm is so messed up right now. I wish it would go back to just comedy bits. But it's like, here's how to grow your following. Here's how to get your email news, your email list and your Pinterest followers and your grow. And like followers does not equal money.
That's true. Unless it
views
really,
does not
really
equal
grows.
money.
Yeah.
And like, perfect example. Josh posted a funny video on TikTok last week. 2.5 million views. How much money did you get from that?
Nothing.
Did you get any new followers?
I got some new followers.
Yeah. Congratulations. I'm just too tired right now to really.
I think maybe I had less than 100 and now I have 500. But there's still like, to get any money with TikTok.
What's that? 4 from 400 from 100 is what? 4 times, 400 times? I don't know. I can't do math right now. That is massive growth.
Yeah.
Like you could do a YouTube video and say, here's how to 400x your followers or 40x your 40, whatever. How to increase your followers. But like, it does. So, okay. What do you do now?
So, yeah, but with TikTok,
what do you do with it?
You have to be like 10,000 or 50,000 followers to start monetizing anything.
And I don't even think you can monetize in Canada.
It was just a fluke.
But I mean, it was a funny video.
Yeah.
It was awesome, and the kids friggin' loved it. They were so proud. But it's like, all right. And do you know what you did to do that, to make that happen?
I don't, because I posted a couple silly videos since then. It's like 100, 200 views.
It's like catching lightning in a bottle. Like you can't recreate it. And so, and that's just it. Like, is it all just fluke and luck? I have no idea. Yeah. I know, like, I can't guarantee results for anybody, but I know that, like, when we helped Tina Madigan with her book, it was a #1 hot new release. Mike Boyle's book was a #1 bestseller in the category. When I started doing marketing on For the Grace of Joe, it was up in the top 100. The ebook for How to Fail at Documentary Filmmaking was a dud, an absolute zero seller for the first couple of weeks, and then the ebook came out and it was an instant bestseller. So I mean,
the paperback first and then the ebook, right?
I don't know. I think it was the other way around, wasn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I think the paperback came out first, then it was the ebook. And then it was the opposite with How to Be a Famous Sexy Writer, was an ebook first and then the paperback. And like, I'm oblivious. Like, I'm too tired to enjoy it. Well, I don't know what's next. Like, and I know, like, yelling at people that showed up at the meeting about the people who were late. I hate having that frequency and broadcasting that out to the world that, like, oh, Vickie doesn't appreciate. Well, like, that's not true. I do appreciate it. I'm just what's after that?
Yeah. Well, you got a lot of books that you've started and are almost done. So
all I want to do is write more books.
Yeah.
For what? I have no idea.
So it's the How to Be a Famous Sexy Writer, and then the 3 different versions of the coloring books: paperback, how to make paperbacks, how to make ebooks, and how to market. And then
the irony is not lost on me that I just published a book called
what I'm hearing,
How to Market Your Book. I could just read it and follow the instructions I put in there.
What I'm hearing is you actually do know how to market, because you've done it before with your books and with other people's books, and it's gone really well. I think right now you're exhausted because you have so many books going that you haven't finished yet. So it's like to think about doing labor and you're still going to be pregnant afterwards. You know what I mean? Like doing marketing while you're still finishing books is like...
Well, I was also disappointed.
Exhausting.
I was disappointed with the sales before it published. Like I'm so tired.
So self-publishing one book at a time.
But I'm doing all the things. Like I repurposed the content into the coloring books. And like we had a lot of fun doing the coloring pages. And then like I'm just like... And maybe I'm not supposed to know what's next. Like I've had ideas and we've written them down, and we've followed some advice. I guess maybe there's just a lot going on, but like writing down what we're going to do next, like writing down a marketing plan, writing down what we're going to do next, to do up like a scheduler for social media posts. And it's like, I don't have any idea if any of it's going to work. And by work, I mean, is it going to connect anybody that can actually use the information?
Right.
Like,
get it in front
is
of the
there
people
anyone
that need
out there? You know, we've had a few people call us over the last little while. They're not listening to the podcast, and they're not reading the books. They're just out of like, how did you know I help self-publish? And it's like, oh, I don't know. I just thought of you because you post your books. Oh,
word of mouth, social media.
So it's not even coming in through the podcast. It's from other places, and it's like I don't understand. And I'm going to go back to the Esther Hicks law of attraction thing. It's like when the doors open, anybody can get in. So which is a good thing, but it's like, so why are we beating our brains out posting on Facebook? Like everybody, like I have been in touch with people personally about the book. You know, they're not paying attention to the Facebook posts. These are people that are like, I've told him over Messenger and stuff. Like they actually know what's going on in my life. So anyway, I feel like I just going very aware right now that I'm complaining a lot.
Well, that portion of the podcast can be over now. We can talk about,
can I sleep on this microphone?
I don't think that's a good idea. Well, what about we did a little bit of marketing on social media this week with like posts and mock-ups and we made lots of merch. We got lots of merch.
Josh made shirts. He designed the shirt. It says "Famous Sexy Writer," and over here, this is a little stroke of Josh's genius. There's a little cursor right there, like on your screen, where it's like all that potential is there.
So we made a whole bunch of shirts.
What's next?
We made a whole bunch of buttons, little pins.
Yeah.
Which was fun. And we did a design and made one mug, but we haven't made any more. We're going to make some more mugs. But we did the design and we started it. And it's all famous
what it
sexy
is
writer
to be
stuff.
in the thick of it?
I think that's it. Yeah, it's exhausting. Imagine people that do marketing 9 to 5 every day, all week, all the time.
For other people. That blows my mind. Like to put all that creative energy into someone else's company is like, I don't think I could do that.
It's a lot.
Because it's like when it's successful and you can see, and I don't know how to measure the results. I don't know about the analytics. I don't know. I guess I'm too close to it. Like I do know that on the Facebook posts, there's been some engagement from people that I haven't talked to in a long, like that I don't think I've ever interacted with. So it's the reach is getting out there, but it's like, and it's not about sales either. It's really like, these are people I know, and I wanted this book and these books to go to the larger market, to get out there. And like, because I mean, someone that already likes me, like, so I don't mean to downplay it, but it's like, well, they already liked me. Yeah. Like, how will I ever know?
These books specifically, the idea is to get it to people that want to publish a book and want to know how, and teaching them how to do it.
I just feel like I'm swimming in the same pool over and over again. And I feel like I'm bothering people, that I'm getting on their nerves and all those things. And like, I really do. The feeling I have is that I'm annoying people.
And I think that's one thing too. Like, people that you've said, you've posted on social media a few times over the past week. If you know somebody that is writing a book or is thinking about it or has mentioned self-publishing, like pass this along to them or send them the link or let them know we can help or whatever. So that's good word of mouth stuff.
Yep.
Which has happened because some of the people that have called us have called us because of word of mouth. Like they've talked to Mike or Tina or whoever and they get referred back to us.
Yep.
Which is great.
Yeah.
That's organic.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're doing the podcast.
Just in it.
Just in it. Yeah.
Yep. This is from the inside of it. I don't know. Anyway, that's not. I feel like, oh man, people weren't you finding joy in your work? Like, I mean, there's just so much.
I think it's pretty relatable to be exhausted with your work.
There's just so I know there's been times in my life where I didn't have any ideas, and I was like, what am I gonna do next? And I was just happy to just sit down and crochet, and have panic attacks. That was just my life. And then it was like, oh, I got an idea. And there's just been a flood of ideas. And then it's like, and that nagging artist thing that nags at artists is this going to make any money? Like, I don't know, but I'm having fun. And then it's like, there's just been so much.
Yeah. Well, I think having fun is a good start.
It is. And I've been reading like the gurus, the Tony Robbins, if you've ever done a Tony Robbins certification, which I have, he talks about strangers is where it's at. Like, stop asking your friends because they're support. Like, how many times can the same people buy my books? Like, I feel so guilty because they're so supportive, and it's like, I owe it to them to find my own success. Like, I want to invite them to the shows and the things and go visit them and, reward them for being around for me for such a long time. I was like, okay, thanks, guys. But seriously, like, I really want to be successful. And, make these people proud of me that have been so supportive.
That's right.
And I'm kind of at a loss of how to do that. I don't know. There's just so much information coming at me, and I guess that's part of the algorithm, and I could sleep more. That'll probably help. But the idea of trying it out with strangers is like, these are people that have never met you, have no preconceived ideas, and you can actually start with a clean slate and say, here's what I'm good at. Here's how I want you to see me. And that's how a lot of business transactions happen. Where do you start? I don't know. How do you introduce yourself to strangers? Like, how do you... So I post a lot of things on Facebook, and I don't know why, because I know better, but I also post on Instagram, and I haven't seen an increase in followers or engagement. Everything I post on Instagram maybe gets 3 likes, and it's mostly your it's from your profiles. So Instagram is a dud for me. I don't know how to engage. And then there's Facebook, where I'm just talking to my friends, and so I can't really gauge if it's anything profound or inspired because it's people that love me already. Yeah. So how do you grow beyond that? Because it's not a business. I'm hounding my friends.
And there's a limited number of how many friends you have compared to all the strangers in the world.
Well, 8 billion people on the planet. I don't know how many of them speak English, but I know there's a lot of them out there that probably want to publish a book and would benefit. Like, it's nice to be able to offer, a $20 book instead of paying a big pile of money to anybody.
It's just an option.
Published. It's just an option. But all right, so is this the thing that I do, or is there something else? Because all the signs have been pointing towards go record some songs.
Yeah.
Honestly, which is kind of, I don't know where that leaves anybody that's listening to the podcast that's all excited about self-publishing, but it's like... But
we've talked about that enough. We've covered self-publishing.
Yeah. But it's like...
This is a music podcast now.
Is it? We wanted to do one of those... So there was a TikTok trend going on. I mean, is this how people feel when they work 9 to 5? Because that's what we've been doing. It's like we've been working full-time at this, and it's like, oh my God, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And maybe we're at that, like, on that, people talk about, like, right on the cusp, like, oh, she quit just before what do they call it, the breakthrough. Like, okay, any day now, that'd be great. I don't know what the breakthrough even is for me.
Any day now. Who's that?
Peter Gabriel, Peter Cetera, I don't know.
No, it's a country song. Any day now.
Ronnie Millsap.
Ronnie Millsap, yeah.
Yeah. See, the brain's firing on all cylinders.
there.
It's just like, so today, okay. So this whole idea of repurposing content. So here's the idea that I had today. Instead of marketing ideas, I thought I'm I'm going to start 3 more books. Oh, God. Can I just pound my head on the microphone? Okay, so repurposing. When you're blogging, this is I've heard this stuff for years and years and years, and I'm trying to use everything that is in my toolbox. Repurposing content instead of starting fresh and starting a brand new book. Okay, so I put out How to Be a Famous Sexy Writer. Okay, it's got everything I know about publishing in there. And so we had the idea, hey, what if it was one of them was a book on paperbacks and one of them was on eBooks and one of them was on marketing? And what if there were coloring pages in between? So I just hit publish on the number 7 and number 8 of those. And today, instead of coming up with marketing ideas, I was like, you know what? What if we did mini books? Because I know I talked about that back in February. Mini books are like 50 pages long and they're on one topic and it shows your expertise in one area.
Kind of like the sewing lady that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who I love. So today, that's what I worked on. Mini books. Turning the coloring books into mini books in a 5x8 manuscript. And I asked Josh to make 3 new covers because he's a workhorse. And I'm whipping him, and one of these days he's just going to collapse on the ground like a big Clydesdale that has put too many years in the mines.
Just give me more carrots, that's all.
Just give him some more carrots. But and instead of saying, Vickie, why don't you work on the first 8 books? I was like, let's do this. And he was like, okay. And then he sat down and gave me a cover that is gorgeous and exactly what I wanted. So like he's not, he does have the power to stop me. He just doesn't. He just lets me keep going and going. She'll wear herself out. And then on top of the mini books, because it's like just different offerings. And so if somebody doesn't want the silliness of coloring or somebody doesn't want a picture of me, basically topless in a book in their house, okay, there's mini books. So we're putting in different formats. And I read something about offering a checklist on Etsy.
Like a PDF.
Just buy the checklist for like a couple bucks. And so people talk about it. I saw someone on YouTube saying, I make 6 figures selling a PDF on Etsy. So I was like, I should do that. And since it's already made in the other books, I could just post it as a PDF on Etsy. But guess what I need to do if I post that on Etsy? Marketing.
I saw a really funny thing the other day on...
Can I just say this before you go any further?
Sure.
If somebody knows how to do marketing, I will make you shirts. I will make you mugs. I will knit you a sweater.
We'll publish your book.
I'll publish your book. I don't care. You tell me what you need. I'll babysit your kids. I'll groom your dogs.
We're not gonna babysit kids.
Grooming, like brushing them and clipping their nails and stuff. I don't care. I need help with marketing. So if somebody can help us, I would appreciate it. I am willing to do whatever I can to barter for something that I have a value that I would trade for marketing help. Please help me, because I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Anyway, back to you. Please cut that out and post that everywhere, and maybe put like a boosted post or something on Facebook. Put it right on Facebook. That's the market. That's where we want to reach people is Facebook.
You're like that little girl that just got a spoonful of wasabi and just goes, help. I saw a thing on Instagram the other day, and it was this ad on how to. It was one of those like, leave your job or have a secondary job that's on, you work 3 hours a day and then you get thousands of dollars a week. So, here was the plan.
Okay.
You use AI.
Uh-huh.
You make an Instagram account and it's like a faceless Instagram account.
Okay.
Right. So it's like you find a niche, like is it motivational? Is it study aids? Is it meditation? Is it whatever? So you find a niche, you use AI to make posts,
mm-hmm.
which is like, all right, we're getting into this is a thing. And then you build an audience and you just, so here was the process. You make an Instagram account, find your niche, AI is making your posts, and then you just set that aside and then start another Instagram account with another niche, and then AI is making you post. And then, so this is assuming that the first one catches on, You get thousands and thousands of followers.
Yeah.
You're getting money from it, which is like, who's getting money from any Instagram account? If I could do that, that would like, you want me to do that 6 times? I can't do it once. So it was like, yeah, just use AI and just make an Instagram account that makes you lots of money on the side. And you're just posting, an AI generated post every couple days. And then just do that 6 times.
Just do that. It's that
Genius.
easy. I know.
I'm glad I paid $50 for this ebook. I'm kidding. I didn't do that.
Are you serious?
I was just watching. It was just a commercial.
Do you know how many books I got to sell to make $50?
Yeah.
Is it onlyfans.ca or .com?
I think there's a foot one.
Is it onlyfeet.com?
Only feet.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So that's all the marketing advice that I have collected in my brain is, first of all, try to write a new book to sell the old one. Repurpose your content and what was
Stop
the other
selling
one?
to your friends.
No. There was another one.
Checklists.
Checklists, and I don't know. And anyway, and also don't try to do all of it. I think like narrowing it down to you don't need to do all the platforms, but I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what platforms.
Well, we met a writer the other day that she was a little bit older than us. But she writes like crime, mystery, thriller type novels.
But her first 2 books were massive bestsellers, and they were personal memoirs.
And she was like,
and she wrote a kids book.
She was like, most of my audience is on Facebook, so I just focus on Facebook.
She said her audience is between 40 and 80.
Yeah, so it's if the audience, she knows that her audience is middle aged, our age and a little bit higher, and. So they're mostly all on Facebook. So she's like, I do fine. I don't do any other platforms.
She does really well.
Yeah. So knowing your market.
Maybe a little bit of self-awareness that I'm not TikTok age, maybe. Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm trying to do, maybe I need to look in the mirror and say, and maybe my market is not people like me, 40, approaching 50, approaching menopause years, teenage kids. Like maybe that's not the ideal.
No, I don't know. I think people our age are like the people that are going to be writing a
I have no idea. I have no awareness of who are these, because I feel like, it's everybody though. Who wants to write a book? Who is the market? I don't know. I've talked to people. I mean, we had a friend a couple of years ago. She was 16 and published her first book.
Maybe we should ask our good friend ChatGPT how to find our audience.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. These are all questions that a marketing person would objectively ask. And maybe we should ask ChatGPT what a marketing person would ask us.
That's true, yeah.
Like, what are the questions that you need? And it's like, well, there's your... and there's so much information that it's like, where do you start? Like, and I saw a little girl today at, where were we? We were at the mall. And there was these little girls walking through the mall with their mom. They maybe were like 3 and 4 or something like that. And this little girl was just like, well, first of all, she was just coughing with her mouth wide open, like just not even trying to cover it up. And she was just looking around, like just strutting, like the world is mine and I can do whatever I want. And she doesn't know what she doesn't know. She was so confident and happy. And like at first it annoyed me, like, ugh, cover your mouth. And then I went, I'm so jealous that little girl is just loving life. She's just looking around and all she sees is like daisies and butterflies and chocolate donuts and mom's going to get me something at the mall. And like, what a beautiful frame of mind.
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if I could, because I got a little bit of acting in me. Like I can take on a persona.
Yeah.
And I thought, what if I got up tomorrow morning and just acted like a 4-year-old? Like if you went to a 4-year-old and said, okay, little Patsy, little Karina, little Colleen. Let's go with Colleen. I love that name. Paula. Let's call her Paula.
There you go.
Paula, you're 4 years old. You just wrote a book and you need to find people who might want to buy it. Like, let's start off with it. Let's assume that there's no self-publishing clients and all that stuff. Let's assume that selling the book is, maybe that's the problem too, is that I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'm trying to help people with the book and give them an affordable option, but I'm also trying to reach self-publishing clients and like give them the book so that they know what is involved, and then they will be, at least aware of why they're paying for the services. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I got up tomorrow morning, 4-year-old frame of mind, where are you going to, like if I was selling lemonade, well, where are you going to sell lemonade? Well, around thirsty people. And then people who would also trust a kid on the side of the road with a jug. Do you remember seeing a kid? We saw a lemonade stand once where there was these kids on the side of the road, and when the lemonade ran out, they made a new jug, and the kid was like over next to the little table, and he was like throwing the big spatula like in the ground, like, and was like digging in the dirt, and then he'd pick it up and he'd shake the dirt off and he'd throw it again, and it would like dig into the dirt and dig into the dirt. And then when they ran out of lemonade, he took that spatula up out of the ground,
mixed up some lemonade,
and mixed up some more lemonade. And I have never bought lemonade from. I will pay for a cup of lemonade, but I'd never ever take the lemonade. So, like, if I were to treat it like a 4-year-old with a lemonade stand, where are the thirsty people who would be willing to buy lemonade from me, from this 4-year-old who is in this 47-year-old body? For some reason, she has pigtails. I don't know.
And overalls, probably.
Oh, maybe. That's a good idea. But, like, what if I got up tomorrow morning, put my hair in pigtails, put on my overalls, and thought about how would it, like, because they don't have the baggage of...
That's true.
Well, I don't want to ask my friends at daycare because I ask them for everything. Or I don't want to ask my parents because then they'll think I'm not independent enough. Like, or I don't want to ask my cousins because, maybe they don't even like what I sell and they're just trying to help me. Like, all that bullshit that I just said.
Yeah.
A child doesn't look at it like that.
as you grow up.
It kind of goes along with the same idea of trying to fail. Like, when you remove the perfectionism and you remove the idea of success, and it's like, what if I was trying to not sell this book? What would I put out there?
Yeah.
Or maybe I would just stop. Maybe I wouldn't do any marketing and I would just make the next book. I don't know. It's hard to sit still is where I am. It's I feel like I'm sitting still, but I'm doing so much, but I feel like it's not effective, and I'm not seeing results, or I don't know how to measure the results. I haven't set goals or outcomes that I want, and so I don't know if it's working.
It sounded to me more and more like all this stuff.
But how is it helping me?
Well,
it's just exhausting me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like this is one of those times maybe it's not a marketing person. Maybe I need one of those coaches.
Yeah.
To help me narrow down how to do it, what to do, and like we sat down with a list. I am doing this, like the stuff. I'm listening to the stuff. I'm following I just haven't seen. I haven't seen progress in the book arena. I've seen progress in music, and it's like, what are you trying to, universe? What are you trying to tell me here? Like, is this because that's. I want to be doing music. That's that's the one thing that I feel like I couldn't possibly compete. I can't be out there. There's so many good musicians out there. Like, I couldn't possibly. But it's like, all right, well, I'll just hide in this library, and I'll do that. I mean, I don't know, because I'm at that point where it's like, you know what, the book thing doesn't work out. Maybe I'll try music, and then 6 months from now I'll be sad because faced up against the same thing. The diploma doesn't make me happy. The husband doesn't make me happy. The all the credentials, all the public, it doesn't make me happy. I don't like myself more. I just have another reason to go, well, I guess it wasn't that either.
I think
I'm happy with my husband. I don't mean to say that I'm not. It's just the thing that you said in your mind, like, I'll be happy when I get that. But like, you're not. It's because the work, it has to start inside. And I'm trying. But I mean, I guess maybe that's the first step, is I'm aware that underneath it all, I am absolutely terrified to put that book out there. I'm terrified because at least with my friends, like, I can be mad and say, oh, well, they got stuff going on, or they never pay attention, or, oh, whatever, like, they're whatever. But when it really comes down to it, these are people that I've established relationships with, and it's a safe place to be angry.
Yeah.
But I don't know how to venture out into the world to see if I have any talent or anything worthwhile. And like, that's not a cry for, please pay attention to me, please make me feel better. It's really, I don't know where to start with strangers. Like, how do you start new friendships and new connections? Like, what do you present to them first? How do you introduce yourself? There was an artist many years ago when I was interviewing hockey players. I met Craig Mills, and Craig is now living in Ontario. He's doing something. I think he sells insurance or like investments or something like that. But his wife is a really talented artist, and on her Instagram page, I can't think of her name. I'll think of it later.
It'll come to you.
But in the middle of her Instagram post, she posts all of her artwork, like all of her paintings and things like that. And then you go back just a couple of months, and she'll post a thing where it's just like this beautiful, beautiful headshot or picture of her like at the beach or in her studio. And it'll be a long form post where she says, "Hi, my name is Shoshana, whatever. Here's my background. I started off as a whatever, and then I was moving around with my hockey player husband and wanted to make my own money." Like, whatever her story is, she does like an introduction to say who she is. So if you're going to somebody's Instagram page and you're like, "Oh, look, here's a video that was funny. Here's a thing, whatever." It's like a in case you didn't know who I was, here's an introduction. In case you're new here.
If you're just joining us from the commercial break.
Yeah. So that's one thing that maybe I could try that. Because it's assuming that there are new people on your page, and I don't know who's seeing my stuff. I don't know if it's reaching, like, I know I'm reaching on Facebook. That's a pretty safe place. And maybe that's why I stick with Facebook, because it's safe and it's familiar, and I can get mad at the same characters.
There's at least faces that you can put to names and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are people that I've met that, like, we've established, like, I like you and you like me, and this is great. But it's just, I just want to, I'm standing on the side of the pool, and there's like people in the pool, and they're yelling like, "Come on, jump in. It's not going to be that bad." And I'm just frozen because I'm afraid it's going to be, because up till now, I could say I can blame my friends for not buying the book. And that's not even working anymore, because they're buying the book, and they're leaving reviews, and they're being really great, and they're reaching out. But I still don't know for sure if I have anything to offer, or any talent that's any kind of,
everybody around you knows you do. So
those are all people that already love me. So it's really not like, it's like saying, well, of course your parents think you're funny, but like, can you go out to an open mic or whatever and make people laugh? And it's like, that's a whole different thing. Like, can I get up in front of people and make them laugh? I mean, can I get up and play a song that's going to resonate and is going to move people? Can I make a film that, is going to make people feel something? And it all comes down to, I mean, I don't know if I've stuck with anything long enough to really find out. My friend Paul said that he likes to get really good at something, and then he gets really bored. He gets better than most people at something, or like, the average. He gets better than the average person at something, and then he gets really bored. And like, I mean, is that what it is? Is just fear of finding out what you're actually made of? I'm not speaking for Paul. This is me here.
For you, yeah.
But it's like, yeah, that's maybe. I mean, is that it? Because if you don't try, then you'll never know, right?
That's true.
You're not taking any risks. But I actually don't know how to swim or dive or any of those things. So the pool would actually be a very, very tragic thing for me. The drowning and this inhaling water, and then the barfing on the side of the pool because you inhaled water. All those things are not pleasant. So it's actually like not a good idea for me to jump off the side of the pool, because I don't know how to swim yet. I don't know. I feel like I might have just...
We're in and out of a metaphor, but I don't know if you're talking real life or marketing.
I actually don't know how to swim. So, like, to jump into that, that idea of like jumping out into the ocean, like the river, you're okay, like in the river.
Yep.
While you're on a raft or whatever, but like they run into the ocean, and then there's like this massive expanse of the world that might love you, but it's there's no shoreline. You can't see it. You have no sense of where you are.
Listen,
Blah.
Let's do final thoughts. Let's wrap this up into a nice, neat little package as a conclusion to this episode 31 of Are You Mad at Me podcast. Marketing. Repurpose your work. Stop relying on your friends list and look at strangers.
Do an introduction post on your social media.
Introduce yourself.
As though what do you want somebody to know about you that, like the real stuff, not stuff that you don't want to resume doing, but like what's your best
the stuff that matters.
Write it to somebody. Write it as though someone has not met you yet. What's your best? I don't know. Yeah. I don't. That's as far as I got with that. I don't know.
Do some research.
So
we'll go do some research on marketing, because I think you're like, you keep talking about this stuff. You know it all. It's just a matter of putting it into practice and giving yourself a chance to focus on just marketing.
That'd be pretty challenging.
Yeah. Because
if I stop long enough to look at, to actually sit with it, I'd much rather keep moving and go, maybe I don't need to know. Maybe it's not information that I need to have in my experience. And then I'll just never know. But I'm really getting tired of not knowing. And we'll get to a point one day where there'll be so much money we can just pass it over to a marketing team, and they'll be like, we'll take care of it from here with all the ads and the bus stops and the billboards and the TV and radio and all that stuff. I think I'm looking for evidence that I'm not enough. And so as long as I don't market, like I say this so many times, I could market for somebody else. I'm just having trouble doing it for me. And so as long as I keep doing that, then I don't ever find out the truth. Like, because it's, it could be really good news. It could be like, there's, you could win over brand new people, or, and that's with anything. It's with the books, it's with the music, it's with the comedy, all those things. It's with the films and the TV shows. Like, I give up. When it gets hard, I give up. And it's and then what I end up with is all this evidence of, not that I didn't follow through, is that after I got knocked down, I just changed course. And so who knows what I could ever be really excel at, because I just go, okay, fine. You know what? You don't want me in this arena. I'm not going to stick around and get beat up. But I think that's it. Like, I've changed course so many times that I just feel like I'm getting beat up all the time. Yeah. Like, you're tired of, what's the phrase? There's a phrase, I'm tired of starting over. Well, because you keep quitting. Right? Give yourself a chance to win. Yeah, I don't know what that looks like, but anyway. So anyway, we last week we talked about maybe changing the set, and maybe bringing in some puppets, and we'll get to that next week. Yeah. There's lots of time. It doesn't need to be next week. There's loads and loads of time, and this is not at all what I imagined the podcast would look like the day that we put out book number 8. It's insanity. Or that I'd be working on more, or all that stuff is like, I mean, I don't know. I think if I just stood still long enough and looked at what was going on around us, it'd be like, oh my God. I don't know. Anyway, you could be where I am. You could write a whole bunch of books too. And my advice would be, surround yourself with people like Josh, who will mop you up off the floor. 'Cause it's hard. Like all those people that talk about leaving their 9-to-5s and, living a creative life and having all that freedom and not getting beat up at work every day. Like, it's not an easy life, but it's so much more valuable. Yeah. It feels good. It feels good to be able to do that for yourself instead of working for somebody else's money. Like, if I put effort in and it works out, like, that's money going into our bank account. Right. And paying for our vacations and paying for our meals and transportation and haircuts and, all those things. Like, it benefits our family directly, and I'm not putting money in somebody, like that, Dolly Parton song. I'm not putting money in somebody else's wallet. Yep. But it also, like, one of the other things about money and energy is that it's just a thing that's exchanged between people. So we just put it back out into the economy. Like, for every dollar we get, we're giving it, like, we're buying something else, and that supports local business, and that supports people who are in other jobs, and the things, the vehicles we buy, and the gas we buy, and the insurance we pay for. Those are all things that keep those economies going. And so for every dollar you spend, it comes back to you 10 times over. Yeah. Because of how it gets passed around, and it's just energy. So it's really not the be all end all. And it's not even a money thing. It's not a book sales thing. It's really like, I want to feel good about myself. And that's where I am. Like, I want to do marketing that feels good. And so what I've done this past week is I've put marketing out there that doesn't feel good, because it's the same pool of people. A lot of people are being supportive, but it's like, I know. Do you know what I mean? You want to open it up to everybody else. Well, it's because it's not growing me. It's not growing my self-confidence or my self-esteem, because it's like, oh, you probably just felt bad for me, right? Serious. That's what it feels like. So, and part of it is also, I'm going to be fair to myself here. Part of it is also that I did send messages and texts and things directly to people who said nothing.
That's true.
And it crushed me. And these were people that I trusted. So as much as there's been lots of good experiences, there are also people that blanked, like had nothing to say. So I was like, oh, am I losing friends right now? Like, is this, I mean, I just don't treat people like that. So there's a whole lot of reprocessing.
That's marketing learning, that you try to open it up to the rest of the world.
Trying to sell to friends sucks, and I talk about that a lot in the book. It's really hard, and it can really, but it also, you really find out that sometimes you're not worth $20, and you need to reevaluate. And that's like, I don't need to be doing that. I got work to do. But I don't want to be reevaluating friendships right now, because, I don't need that kind of grief on top of all of it. And that's but that's a trigger too. Like for me, it's losing friends because, well, maybe they're busy. Maybe they've got their own stuff going on. Maybe I dismissed something they did and I didn't even realize it. I don't know. But it's like processing all this stuff. Like it's stopping to, pick at some gum on the road instead of just running the race.
Yeah.
It's getting distracted by things and going, this kind of isn't worth my energy or my time right now. I'll come back to this later, but it's kind of heartbreaking. And especially, it's Facebook is your friends list. It's like you go to those, like, I would not say pyramid schemes, but those like multi-level marketing companies. And one of the first things they'll tell you is, go out and try to get 10 of your friends to book a Tupperware party. And it's like, it's the worst.
Yeah.
And then you sell Avon and you sell Mary Kay, and the whole marketing scheme is meant to get your friends to buy from you. And I don't want to call on my friendships, because these are people, like, this is the third time around now. And the people that have said, I've already got your 2 books, your first 2, I want to buy this one too. And it's like, I want to give back. Like, I want to, I want to be able to do stuff for them too, Yeah. And I just feel like I've run out of charity. Like, I've run out of, I don't want to be going back to that well and saying, bleed. Like, I'd love to be able to go back to them and go, guess what? It's like that song, dear mom and dad. Please.
Everybody's buying the books. Yeah.
I would love to go back to our friends and say, So
I'm proud of you, and I know that this is all working out, and it's going to just explode, and it's going to be even better than you can imagine. So I'm proud of you, and you've done a great job the past few weeks with these books. So. That's 31 episodes of the podcast.
31 episodes.
Good job.
Showing up every week, and you guys are listening and leaving lots of great comments and getting in touch, and it's been great. And I hope that there's some value to just being real and raw and authentic and just showing up in our, this is how it really is. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's one of the privileges of listening to the podcast is I'm not posting this stuff on Facebook. This is really what's going on in our lives. This is reality right here. And if anybody needed to hear this, there
you go.
Or hopefully this made you feel a little bit better about your life in whatever way that helps you. Great. But there's a reason. I just feel like this is a thing we're supposed to be doing.
Yep.
I don't know why.
Well, we'll be back next week.
It's all part of it. It's all part of the process. Like, this is really what it looks like. This is when you try to publish 8 books at once. We could have spread it out over, maybe a year, maybe one a year or whatever. But I don't know if I'm making up for lost time, but it's a lot. Anyway, but there's lots of good stuff. Lots of music stuff coming.
That's right.
So there's that.
There's some good stuff coming down the pipe.
I don't know.
I'm proud of you, honey. You're doing great.
Thanks for all your help. And I couldn't have done it without you. It's been thanks for producing the podcast and for doing all the graphic design. And I mean, you're also you're such a good graphic designer.
Thank you.
Really, just to give you a concept or just tell you an idea, and it's all in front of me, and it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I meant. And I don't know, it's pretty special. And so I just feel like I'm just on that cusp of this has to happen. It has to. Everything feels so right and in place, and it's like it just has to happen.
It's happening. We're right there.
I just can't see it. I think we're so close. We're so in the thick of it that we just can't see it. And if I went back a few years, I keep going back to what would my younger self say? if she could see me now. And it's like, well, all I'm thinking about is my 10 years from now person. What would she tell me to do? Like, how do I get to where I want to go?
Exactly.
What would I be doing right now? And it's like, I don't know. I don't think I'd be posting on friggin' Facebook. It's just the algorithm on Facebook is so bad. Like, every third post is an ad.
It's okay. Just breathe.
I am breathing. Give it up. I'm serious. Like, Facebook is meant to make you feel bad.
I know.
I don't want to be a part of that. Like, so I get a lot of, you're such a breath of fresh air. I'm glad I saw this on Facebook today. And what I want to say to people is, send me an email. Call me. Send me a text.
Yeah.
I would prefer that you're not on Facebook at all, because it's designed to make you feel bad, and it wants you to stay in the app. Like, these are scientifically researched things.
100%.
It's a business. They don't want links that'll take you out of the app. They want you to feel bad, and so they're selling so much of their space to advertisers. Every third post is not from a friend. It's from a company that I don't know where the ads are coming from these days.
Yeah.
It's just, but it's such a negative thing, and I don't want to be a part of that machine.
Right.
But I don't know where else to meet people. I really don't. Like, I keep thinking, I want to delete my Facebook account. I really do.
Yeah.
But I have to take all my pictures and stuff off there first, which is like,
hard,
that's just 14 years of pictures. Who's that got that kind of hard drive space?
No, it's like 18. We've been on there since 2007.
Oh my God. Like, there's so much history on there, so you're invested in it and you can't just walk away. And so there's got to be other ways. So, like, YouTube is pretty friendly, I think. But, like, you got to get people to see on Facebook. Or, like, are they going to come to a party? Or are they going to come to like, can I get them through text or email? And, like, I don't know people's phone numbers anymore.
Yeah.
Like, there's no phone book. Most people have cell phones, so you're not going to find somebody. You can't do a Canada 411 or to find somebody's phone number anymore, because cell phones there's no directory for cell phones. So there's no way to keep in touch, and I don't want to lose all those connections, but at the same time, we got to stop meeting like this. I think that's what it comes down to is there's got to be other ways to keep in touch with people. I post the podcast every week. We post clips and stuff, and it's like, this is where I am. This is where the real stuff is happening. And it's like, Facebook's not going to show anybody that clip because it's on YouTube. Like, oh my God, they got us right where they want us. Like, I don't mean to be. Where's my tinfoil hat? Like, they're making a whole lot of money. Yeah. There's a lot of big companies making a whole lot of money off us feeling bad. And I don't know. I feel like one thing I can say is how much better I feel when I see my name on the spine of a book. Like, I know it's something that's mine, that I created.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful feeling, and I hate to bastardize it by putting it on Facebook. I hate it. But I don't know how else to let people know that it's there.
Yeah. So,
I mean, we do the podcast every week, and I guess, like, you just keep plowing away. 31 episodes. How many more? How many does it take for that tipping point for people to go, oh, hey, I listened to your podcast last week. I didn't realize that you're in the market for a blah, blah, blah. I got one of those. And hey, how about if we trade these things? And it becomes a bartering system. But as long as it reminds me of the farmer's market. The farmer's market where your grandparents go is like a co-op, and everybody shares, and nobody's making a ton of money, but everybody shares in the responsibilities and in the upkeep and all those things. And it's really an organic type of thing. Anyway, so we have a farmer's market here in St. John's that is not like that. It's run by a big committee. I was on the executive and did not enjoy it. And it's not like that communal, like that co-op idea. It's the framework is there, but it doesn't translate into actually being kind to people, reaching out to the community, growing the community. It was not that kind of environment. So it wasn't. Yep. It's really too bad, because they got this beautiful space, and
it really is nice.
It really is a beautiful space, but it's just not. It's just not like when you get out of small towns and see how well things can run, and see how kind people can be to each other. Coming back to a small town is very difficult. And because you look around and you go, guys, seriously, it can be better. And they go, ugh, you just think you're better than us now because you went away for a while. I just,
we've seen other things.
If you see that things can be better and people can be kind to each other, it's kind of hard to forget that. And go back to the old way of, crabs in the bucket and everybody trying to keep each other down. That's just... Anyway, one of these days we'll get some of these mainland ideas, or we'll just go back to the mainland and thrive in an environment where it's okay to be different and anonymous and whatever. You can just blend in and excel, and it's just not under a microscope all the time. I don't know. Anyway, that's enough. We're going to stop this.
I think
now
the dogs might need us.
I've looped myself
going
around
crazy.
5 or 6 times. Who, the dog or me?
No, the dog's going crazy, not you. 31 episodes. Good job, honey.
Yeah, thank you. You too. Congratulations. That was lame.
Try that again. All right, folks.
I'm Vickie Morgan.
I'm Josh Morgan.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.